Hi, I'm Robert. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube video. I'm a very handy person. I've been fixing things as far back as I can remember. Since I was 9 years old, I've fixed stuff like sheetrock walls, small appliances, computers, and the list goes on and on. I even have some formal training in carpentry and computer repair. So I hope you find this information useful. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the inner workings of a toilet tank. You may be able to hear it. It's constantly running. The valve is old and leaking and it needs to be replaced. So let me make sure you can hear it running. So if it's a constant run, it's more than likely the valve and stuff has gone bad. If it's a cycling run where it runs a little while and then it shuts off and goes quiet, it's probably just a flapper, which is a cheaper repair. You take the tank lid off, set it aside somewhere out of the way, and set it flat so it don't fall and crack and break on you. That's always a pain to get fixed. Then you can look down in the toilet. As you can see, this one is constantly running, even though this valve here is all the way up, indicating that the valve has a leak. You can see a bubble in there. Now, if you have a situation where it cycles sometimes, you can normally just replace that flapper on the bottom. Now, sometimes you'll have a toilet that runs all the time because this chain is stuck and wiggling the handle will free it. If that's the case, you just shorten the chain. But as you can see, the chain is not stuck under that flapper and the valve is running and bubbling. So this valve needs to be replaced. Now, if you jiggling the handle cures it, you can always work on the way to shorten the chain so it didn't get caught under the ball. And if the ball is leaking, the plunger, the best way to test it is to put some dye in the tank, either some tank cleaner or something that you would use to color eggs. Just put a few drops in there, and if the plunger is leaking, you'll look in the toilet and that color will start filling into the toilet. But there's nothing leaking into the toilet here. It's just this valve leaking. So we're going to replace everything. In this case, since the kit we have has everything in it, and everything will be fresh and new, and I'll do a separate video to show you just how to change that plunger, which is an easy task. Here's a kit, can be purchased from Home Depot. If you're just replacing a flapper, that's normally a $3 or $4 deal. The whole assembly kit is probably 15 bucks. So let me go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is turn off the valve. When you turn the valve off, the noise should stop, letting you know that the valve indeed did shut off the water supply. If you still hear water supply after you've closed that valve, then you have a leaking valve. But as you can hear, it got quiet, no more bubbling. The water supply is successfully turned off. Next thing you want to do is flush the toilet and hold the handle down until all of the water that's possible has gone out of the tank. Because you're going to change this assembly, any other water left in there will leak out onto the floor. So go ahead and flush the toilet and hold it down until all of the water is out of the toilet. Holding the handle down stops the flapper from closing, and as you can see, there's still a little bit of water left in there. You can soak that up or just catch it whenever you pull the valve and allow it to leak out. The next thing I do is put a drip pan under that part of the toilet as best I can to catch the water that leaks out once I take that loose. And usually these things are not much more than hand tight. You shouldn't need a pipe wrench, but if you do, you can use a small pipe wrench or a crescent wrench and go ahead and disconnect this supply line from the bottom of the tank valve. So I reach down here with my hand and unscrew it counterclockwise, and this one was hand tight and it still made a decent seal. So shouldn't get any water when I take this loose, maybe a few drops. I also have a towel. So that's about all the water you should get, and if the valve is closed, no more water will come out of that. Next thing you want to do is put a wrench or something on that and get that start turning. and turn that all the way off, then you'll be able to lift the valve and stuff up from inside the tank. I was able to start turning that loose by hand, so like I said, it shouldn't be too tight. So when you put that stuff in, you know you don't have to really make it tight, you just need to snug it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that all the way down, and as I get down, it'll start leaking water. And you could put a towel under it if you can't get a drip pan under it, but you do want to catch that water and stuff that'll leak out of there. So now I'm gonna lift this assembly up from inside the tank a little bit, and that'll break the seal and let the water that's in there leak out. Fortunate for me, my pan caught the rest of the water. Now I can go inside the tank and finish. So the next thing I need to do is unclip this from this tube here, and that's pretty much it. This assembly has been released. You can see the seal there. I could drop that down there. Now I can open up my packaging and drop the other one in. Here's all of the parts from the kit. You got your main assembly, your extension hose that fills water down the tube. Then you got your seal for the bottom and your securing thing for underneath. And you got your plunger here, which is normally very soft. So go ahead and look at your instructions. Put your assembly together the way it's recommended. I'm going to go ahead and put this one together and show you what I come up with. This assembly has some kind of water saving feature on it I've never seen before. You can read your instructions, see how that works. I'm probably going to hook it up, but if you want to snap it off, you probably can. Remove it. Then I got my hose hooked up, and I'm going to go ahead and put my gasket seal on the bottom of this here, set that down in there, and screw it in. Now you can relieve pressure here and turn this tube in and out if you have a longer bowl or want to get more water in there. There's also a way to adjust that here, but you want to make sure that goes through and you can get it sealed on tight. So let me go ahead, put this seal on here, drop this in the bowl and secure it. When you set the unit in there, you want to make sure that it clears all the walls of the toilet bowl. Set it down in there with the seal on the inside, then come under it and put your nut on there and make it hand tight, as tight as you can with your hand. You shouldn't need a tool. Okay, once the nut is tight on the bottom and you got your hose and your clamp on there and there, go ahead and clip this on here in a way that will allow water to squirt down into that tube. So I'm going to clip it on like this. Probably need two hands to do that. And now when the toilet runs, it will squirt water down in that tube. And now this tube is too long, so I can actually cut the excess off of this tube and get this hooked back up so this tube is not so long, or I can loop it. Either or, it doesn't matter, it's your choice. Okay, that's how I'm going to end up with my loop there. Now I need to hook up this chain to the arm of this little water saving thing. So basically, when the arm is up and this one is actually broken, should be replaced. It should have a couple of rings on there. You hook this to the ring. So I'm probably not going to hook this up. I'm going to leave it dangling if that's even possible. So let me see if that is a possible thing to do since this arm is broken. Since this arm is jacked up, I'm going to go ahead and remove this little extra feature they have on here. I'm going to pry that clip open, remove that, and leave this feature off of this assembly. Okay, I knocked that off of there, so I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that without that feature, and this here will adjust the water level whenever I get this back together. Next thing I'm going to do is remove that plunger thing, and what you do, you reach down here and unhook the plunger from the arms of the tube, lift it up, and unhook it from the arm and replace it with the new one. Now on this one, these arms will just clip on to the existing arms, and I'm going to try to use the existing chain and hook it on this loop here. because this arm inside here has issues. So I'm going to try to use their existing chain. If not, I'll just use that bread tie like they did to swap this new assembly stuff over. Okay, I removed the cardboard from the bottom of this plunger. I hooked it over those two areas. I took the plastic chain, hooked it in the existing loop thing. I got a little slack there, but it's not enough to get stuck under the plunger. So now I'm going to hook up the supply line and go ahead and fill the tank up to see if it leaks. I'm not sure what this little water saver deal is here either. Not sure if I'll function that, but you can read the instructions on that to see if it's stuff you want to use or not. Now the supply line has a built-in gasket in it, so the new line should go in there and seal real good. So let me go ahead and screw that in there. When you tighten that up much as you can by hand, make sure the piece inside the tank doesn't start turning on you when you get that tight. See, it's wiggling, but it's not turning. Alright, so you don't want to get that to turn. So right now it's all hooked up. I'm going to ease the water supply on, see if I have any leaks. Hopefully I won't. If I have any leaks, it'll drip down in there. So I come up here, look inside the tank, and once this ball starts floating, the toilet should cut off. So it's not real good that this thing is spraying around like that. So if you can adjust this to not hit that hole, or you may want to cut that thing off since this new assembly doesn't need that. But you don't want that spraying around, splashing on the tank, because that could splash out of the tank. So the water is already cut off. It's got a pretty low level, so you can screw this screw here to get it to give you more water if you need to. And beyond that, you'll have to adjust that neck to rise up higher. But hopefully this is enough water in the tank to flush the system. Toss the little toilet paper in there. I'm going to go ahead and flush it, see if it flushes all the way. That looks like it's going to be enough water to flush the toilet, so we'll make sure it cuts off and it's quiet after it does. That's all there is to it. It's flushing, it's filling well, it's going quiet, and most importantly, I have no leaks after everything's said and done. So come back and double check for leaks in a couple of days. Make sure it don't start leaking on you, and you'll be good to go. Thanks again for watching the video. I hope you found the information useful and it helped you solve whatever problem you're working on. If you did, please like it, share it with your social media friends, and please subscribe to my channel so that you get notification of future videos that I make. You can go to my website, robertspinner.com. You can also leave comments here and questions, and I'll answer them as soon as I can.